Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. I am so glad you're here. I have another fun ink to show you. So, this one is another Ferris Wheel Press ink. I know I've shown you a few of these, I think 2 so far, other Ferris Wheel Press inks. Anyway, this is a big one, like a big size bottle. I think this is the only large bottle I have from them. I might be wrong, but look how pretty this is. They have beautiful foil boxes. It's got a really cool design. It looks like there's the moon there and some little mice and tiny rabbits running on spider webs or moonbeams or something. And I like these foil boxes because they really block the light. So when you store these on your shelf, you don't have to worry about the light messing them up. So this color is called Phantom Mist, and it's got their boxes kind of show what color the ink is going to be roughly. So it's got this beautiful like purplish color, this grayish purple, and it's pretty green glow. And on this side it gives you a brief description of the ink. The base is a purple gray. There is no sheen. The shimmer is green and the shading is medium. And I really, really like shading inks. This is safe for use in fountain pens. And here they talk about a little bit, just talk about what their inks are like. But I love the colors on this. I love the design of the box. I like the cool spider web they got here. I thought this was really unique. That's what it looks like on the bottom. And this company is based in Canada. That's why it's got a maple leaf there. And I do have a link down below that you can use to get a discount if you decide to order from them. You get a discount off your first order, and then you can join. They have like a points club that you can join. I highly recommend doing that. Only because if you start buying their inks and liking them, then you'll want. Eventually they'll come out with one you want. They do a lot of fun like Kickstarters and licensed products too. They've got like Superman and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. And so if you like those, you'll eventually find something that you want to buy. And their points club, every day you can spin the wheel and earn extra points. And if you're patient, those points add up pretty quickly over time. If you just do it every day, you're not going to order something from them every day, so the points just add up. Just remember, every day go back and spin the wheel. You get some points and you can get a discount on your inks, because of course the inks are very expensive, and they have a lot of other accessories. They have a really beautiful carousel inkwell. They've got leather bags. They've got all sorts of neat stuff, and the discount codes really help make it more affordable. So I strongly recommend you joining their points program, even if you don't use my link. But if you use my link, you'll get a discount, like a first time purchase discount. So that's going to be down below. So anyways, here is how it looks on the inside. And it's got these flaps, and these hold, this is what holds the bottle safe in shipment, is just how they've designed this box. So these flaps come up here, and it's got this brass cap, and that pulls out of there. And the sticker came off the bottom. There we go. All right, so this is a big bottle. Most of their bottles are this round shape, except for some of their licensed products come in like a taller, slender bottle, and also their calligraphy inks as well. So this is 85 mils, and you can already see how pretty the shimmers are at the bottom there. It's really pretty. So anyway, we got to shake this up so that the shimmers will disperse properly. And if you're new here, what I do is I test out the inks on different types of paper, because not everybody has fancy paper for everything, and you might just have some copy paper, or maybe you've got a journal that has regular paper in it and you're thinking, I'd really like to try a pretty ink for my journal, but I want it to look the way I think it's going to look. So like if you see the swatches online, you want to know that's what it's going to look like when you're writing your journal. And some inks will do that and some do not, because some of them require special papers to show off their special properties. A lot of the sheen inks or sheening inks those require special papers to see all their properties. The shimmer inks typically do not. Most of the shimmer inks I find work fine on regular paper. You can get the pretty shimmery effects, but we're going to test all of them to make sure. And some of them have more than one special property, so you'll see some and not the others, and that's what this is for. Also, I am very new to this, so if you are new as well, welcome to the newest addition, to the newest addiction, because this is a very addicting hobby. Yes, so anyway, I'll put this is regular copy paper, and I should show you how I have these. So I cut them down to size so that we're not wasting full sheets of paper. It's copy paper. This is HP 32, which is also copy paper, but it's like a higher quality. It's smoother, and it shows off the property of the inks a little bit better. And this one is Tomo River paper. This is what it looks like. You can get it at Amazon. It comes in like a little packet. They do make journals and things made out of this paper, but I just have loose leaves so that I can use it for swatches. So yes, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and test this on some copy paper. This is so pretty. Okay, so because inks are so expensive, any fountain pen ink is going to be not cheap. You know, we don't want to spend a lot of money on an ink and then have it not do what we think it's going to do. It's always very disappointing, and that's why I'm doing this, so that we can all see together how this looks. So first, I just do some swirls here, and this is a really pretty, turn that off. Okay, it's a really pretty purpley gray, and it has these lovely green shimmers. I'm just gonna try some horizontal ones, and then we're gonna do a circle here. And I try to make all the tests roughly the same. And this is called Phantom Mist. Yep, Phantom Mist. And it's by Ferris Wheel Press. And as you can see, handwriting is not my strong suit. It is something I need to work on. So you do not have to have pretty handwriting to enjoy pretty inks. Now, what I have learned about shimmer inks like this one is as the ink dries, the shimmers kind of come to the surface and show themselves. So as you're writing at first, you might not notice the shimmers, but within a few seconds to a minute or so, the shimmers will become more visible. It's like they raise to the surface or rise to the surface or something. I'm going to put the lid back on here so that I can shake it again for the next paper. So, oh, and there is something else I need to write on here before I forget. We have to write what kind of paper this is, because they kind of look the same. Let's get a little bit of ink here. Copy, paper, and another swatch, why not? And we'll do some lines. Now I know just from looking at this that the shimmer part is showing up very nicely. It's coming up to the surface, and you can definitely see it on this paper. I don't know if the camera is picking it up. But what I'm going to do at the end is we'll shine a light directly on this and see if we can get the camera to see the shimmers better. I can see them. It's a very fine velvety green shimmer over the top. Like, it's called Phantom Mist, so it's almost like a green mist or a green haze over this grayish purple. And this color, or this part here that I just laid down, you can see it's kind of a darker gray. And this over here is a more paler purpley gray. So as this color dries, the purpleness of the gray will show. Because when you're laying it down, when you're first writing with it, like you can see here where it's not quite dry, it almost looks like a dark gray. But as it dries to that beautiful, like purpley gray color. So hopefully the other papers will show that as well, so you'll kind of see what I mean as we go along. All right, so this is HP 32. And I really like this paper because it's really inexpensive. Most of the ink properties will show at least a little bit on this. Like the shading sometimes will show, and the shimmers always show up nicely on this one. This is a very good middle of the ground paper to get if you can't get something like the Tomoe River paper. And there's another brand that's not Tomoe River. I forget what it is, and I think I have it somewhere. Maybe one day we can test with that as well. But I don't know that it would make that much difference, honestly. I'm going to shake this again and we'll do the next one. But yeah, if you guys ever want to try different papers or see how inks perform on different papers, we could definitely do videos on those as well. Just let me know what you guys want to see. Alright. Dip that in there. And then I'm going to put the cap on here. And this is a really heavy brass cap. They're very serious about the fancy caps on these. All of their inks are really like fancy and whimsical and just almost like bizarre, but in like a really good way. Like the artwork on the box kind of shows what their brand is about. I think it says on their website, it says making fancy fun. And they really do a good job of that. So they definitely live up to their motto. This is Phantom Miss. And I apologize, I'm very bad at talking and writing at the same time. So if I go quiet, it's just because I'm bad at my job, I guess. Ferris Wheel Press, yes. And this is the HP 32 paper. And we will do some more scribbles so as not to waste the ink. I also will sometimes, I did this on a previous ink to see if I could get the shading to show up, or to show up in a way that I could show the camera easily. And it worked on the Tomoe River paper. I should try it on here. But anyhow, so yeah, again, this is dark. So just really quick to show you before it starts to dry. Compared to the copy paper, where it's already dry, do you see how light this looks compared to this freshly scribbled? It's because it's still wet. As it dries, it's going to lighten to that really pretty purple. So sometimes the inks, when they go down on the paper at first, they look one way, and then as they dry, it's like they change. That's really, really cool. There's another ink I have I'm going to show you someday. It's so pretty. It goes down one color and dries to a different color entirely. It's so pretty. It's probably, I want to say it's my favorite ink, but I have to be careful. I know it's my favorite gray ink. So it is a type of gray ink. So anyways, one day we'll review that one because I have to show you. So anyhow, this looks so pretty. So again, we're going to give it some time to dry, but you can already see like down here where this is a lightening to that purple. And I don't know if the camera is able to pick up the shimmers, but this looks really awesome so far. So we're going to give that a few minutes to dry while we get the next paper ready. And that's going to be this Tomoe River. I'll grab a sheet of this. And this paper, if you've never used it before, it's kind of deceptive. It's very thin, like almost like tracing paper. You can almost see through it, and like translucent a tiny bit, but it doesn't, the colors don't bleed through it, at least not from like normal writing and testing. I'm sure if you dumped ink on it, it would probably bleed through, but anyway, but it takes longer for the ink to dry, and just a few seconds longer, and that seems to be just enough time for it to show off all the beautiful properties of the ink. There we go. I'm gonna get some on here. Okay, let's do some squiggles and scribbles. And again, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but I can see the ink kind of pooling on the paper as I write. And I'll flip this over when we're done and show you. It should not leak through. It hasn't yet, but I guess there's a first time for everything. But this paper is even smoother than the HP 32 paper. Okay, this is Tomoe River paper, and we'll do the same thing as before where we draw some lines and see if I can get that shading effect. And it might not on these lines, but we might get it somewhere else. So anyway, the reason I do the writing and the scribbles is so you can see what it would look like if you were to like paint with it, or if you were to, you know, write with it normally. And I don't fill my pens to, like my fountain pens, to do these tests because it would be a massive waste of ink and a lot of time. I'd have to fill the pen. We'd write a few things real quick and then I'd have to empty it out. So this is a little bit more cost effective to do it this way. And then while that's drying, because that's going to definitely take a couple of minutes, I'm going to do the ink blot. And then when we go over these, that will let this dry. So what I use the ink blot, what I use to make the little ink blots is this. It's got like a flat rounded end. It's just a glass dip pen. I leave this plastic protective cover on it though, because the tips break on these very easily. So I'm just gonna shake this back up again because all the shimmers fell to the bottom. And we'll dip this again. Now the Ferris Wheel Press ink pot that they make, it spins so that you can continuously be stirring the ink up as you write, so that it doesn't just sink to the bottom. You don't have to like put a cap on every time. You can just spin the little ink well and it mixes the shimmers for you, which I think is really cool. So if you want to see that, I can review it. That might be kind of a fun accessory to test out because I haven't used it yet. So get a little more ink. I feel like sometimes on these inks the it doesn't stick to the glass bulb end of this very well, and I have to go back for some more. Okay, that's good. I'll just swirl this around a little bit. That looks good. All right. And also these little papers, these little swatch cards I'm using, there's like the little ink drop has like an embossed design under it. And on some of these inks that shows up really, really well. And on others, the ink just overpowers it. But it looks like we might be able to see that embossed ink drop through this ink. I'm just going to shake this one time real quick because I got to write the name of this ink on here. All right, this was Phantom Mist. Phantom Mist. And then on here I just put Ferris Wheel Press. I abbreviate it because writing the whole thing would be way too long. And let me clean this off. Alright, so we got that closed. So what we'll do is, I can already see the shimmers coming up, but we're going to give this a minute to dry. And instead we'll go back to these papers here and test these out. So yes, the shading on this shows up very nicely on these. And on here on the HP 32, you can see it a little bit, but it really shows up on here. So this is one where if you really, really cared about the shading, you'd probably want to stick with the Tomoe River paper. If you like the shading, but you're not too concerned about it, the HP 32 has a little bit of it around the edges. And this is the plain copy paper. And you don't really see the shading on this, so, but you see the pretty colors and the shimmers just fine. So if you want this just for journaling or something because you like the colors and you like the shimmers, then you could totally use this with any paper. If you really want the shading to come through as like, if that's what you're getting the ink for, then stick with the Tomoe River paper. So let me turn the light on real quick here and we'll shine this on here directly and you should be able to see. So we'll start over here, the copy paper on the left, and you can see how nice and like a pale grayish purple. It's still very legible. It's dark enough to read, but it's not a dark gray. And then and you can see the shimmer on that too. Like the shimmer is really pretty. But the shimmers show up even better on this HP32 paper. And then on here, the Tomoe River, even though it's not, I think that circular one isn't fully dry yet, but you can see the shimmers really show up on this really, really well. So this is a really good one to get if you want to use the fancy paper. And then the shading, I don't know if the camera picks this up, but right underneath where it says Tomoe River, I've got those squiggles. It's very obvious. The shading really shows up on that. And then up here, these scribbles that I made, the squarish shaped ones, and even the circle there, they all have that darker edging around them. It really just shows off the shading really, really nice. So this would be a very good one to get if you have the fancy paper and you want to see the shading. But it's also excellent if you just like the really neat contrast between the purpley gray and the green shimmers. It's very pretty. I'm going to set these other two down so you can see. This is the plain copy paper. And right there, you can see the shimmer. It's definitely there. So, you know, it just depends on what effect you like. You might actually like this better than the other two. And if that's the case, then definitely get that with copy, you know, use it on copy paper, but it's completely up to you. And then this is the ink blotch. This is mostly dry, and you can see that green shimmery all over that grayish purple. It's really pretty. And then down there where I have the name written, the Phantom Mist, you can see the shimmers that float up to the top on the writing. It's very, very pretty. So again, this is a beautiful ink. If you want to order this ink or another one from Ferris Wheel Press, I do have the link below that you can use to get a discount. And then if there is any other ink or any other fountain pen like accessories or something you want to see, let me know. If I have them, we can review them. Or if I can get them, we can review them. Oh, and also from last time we did this. This was a Gold Star from Diamine, from their, they had an ink vent calendar. But this is like a gold, like a really, really deep gold with gold shimmers. And this is how it looks fully dry. So just like every video until I can figure out a better way to do it when we do those ink blotches. I might start doing them at the beginning or something, and then that way by the time we get to the end they're dry. I'll think of something. But anyways, definitely if you have any requests or anything you'd like to see, let me know and we can try doing a video on them. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And you all have a great day, and I will see you all later.